I figured I would start by answering the question that I get asked the most, and that is, how did I become a Japanese translator? Now, sometimes the question is phrased as, how do I become a Japanese translator? I am interested in becoming a Japanese translator. But I don't have an answer for how a person in general becomes a translator. I don't know. I mean, there are many different ways for it to happen. It's not one of those careers where there's this, clear career path where I major in Japanese translating in college and I get my master's in Japanese translating and then I go and work at a Japanese translating company. There are translators for many different things. There's translators for legal. Overwhelmingly, a lot of translating work is legal, business, and medical. That's like the three big. If you're going to look to be a translator, prepare to find a bunch of offers for those kinds of jobs. Not very many offers for things like books or movies or manga or anime or games. However, those things pay more, so that's something to keep in mind. And I'm totally veering off topic right now. So how I became a Japanese translator, I'm going to talk about that because that's what I know about, because I'm me. It basically started with, I took some Japanese in high school because I was obsessed with Sailor Moon, and then from there I was lucky enough to go on an exchange through Rotary International and go to high school in Japan for a year, so that helped me learn the language, full immersion. And then from that point on, I just started translating, just pro bono, mostly anime, like for fan subs, or just in general, just I'm gonna translate this manga because I feel like it. I'm gonna translate this book because I feel like it. And I just did a bunch of stuff for free and practiced translating until I just got better and better and better and better. Now, meanwhile, I was going to school, so I didn't have a lot of time to devote to translating. So it was actually like sort of a hobby slash sideline. And then I tried doing something else with my career life, and I found I just wasn't very happy. I didn't feel like it was a really good fit. And I went back to what I'd been doing as a hobby or sideline for a few years and thought, I'm gonna really make an honest go for it. So I did what my father suggested, because he is actually a German translator. That's partly what got the idea in my brain that being a translator is something a person can do for a living. I went on and I joined a website. Actually, I joined like 3 translating websites. I don't remember like the other 2 of them, but the main one and the one that actually got me some work is Prose, or Prosy, I don't know how you pronounce it, but proz.com. And it basically has, people have listings. It's kind of like Craigslist for translators. And they say, hey, looking for a translator for thus and such. And after just a bunch of logging on continuously, trying to find work and doing like small $50 jobs here and there, and then meanwhile still building up my experience by doing a lot of free and cheap translations, I eventually was contacted by a company in Japan who wanted me to take a test for them. I took the test, I passed the test, and I started translating for them. And then once I had them on my resume and that experience, I was able to get more things after that. So really that's how I did it. I started out as a hobby slash sideline, and I did a lot of stuff for free and a lot of stuff for cheap until I finally built up to what I do today. Now that really only scratched the surface of how I became a translator. If anyone watching this has any more questions to ask regarding how I became a translator, put it in the comments. That's how I get question submissions, is comments. If I'm fancy one of these days, I might get a Twitter. And if you have any other questions related to Japanese translating or otome games or anime or Japan or any of that stuff, also ask that in the comments. This vlog series is still in its infancy right now, so if you ask a question, it's quite likely I'm going to answer it, so ask away!